The blocky worlds of Minecraft and the colorful universes of Roblox have long ceased to be mere games. Today, they are entire digital ecosystems where millions of people, young and old, spend hours creating incredible structures and whole cities. What draws us to these pixelated spaces? Why have the cubic landscapes of Minecraft, born in 2009 as an independent project by a Swedish programmer, or the modular platform Roblox, which appeared even earlier in 2004, become a global cultural phenomenon? The answer lies in the unique freedom of self-expression these worlds offer. They provide something more than entertainment, the ability to create without boundaries or limitations. Over the past decade, these platforms have evolved from simple block-based sandboxes into multifunctional spaces where architectural masterpieces, working mechanisms, and even educational programs are created. But the main question remains open. How do these virtual worlds influence our thinking, imagination, and capacity for creativity in the real world? The fantasy worlds of Alpha are not just virtual playgrounds for games. They are primary creative spaces where fundamental notions of how reality can be constructed are laid down. Just as ancient civilizations began with the simplest structures, gradually creating complex architectural complexes, in digital sandboxes we start with simple blocks to then erect magnificent castles and cities. The uniqueness of Minecraft and Roblox lies in the absence of rigid game objectives. There is no set scenario or final point here. Instead, players are given tools with which they can embody any idea. This freedom of expression makes virtual worlds an extension of each user's creative self. A child building their first house out of digital blocks, and an adult architect creating a large-scale replica of a Gothic cathedral use the same basic principles. They transfer internal images into visual form. These worlds become a mirror of our imagination, where thought instantly transforms into digital matter. It is noteworthy that these platforms combine elements of play, art, and education, blurring the lines between entertainment and creation. When we immerse ourselves in such spaces, the same areas of the brain are activated as during real construction or artistic creation. The fantasy worlds of Alpha become a training ground for our minds, where we learn to think systematically, plan, and implement what we envision. When we place a virtual block in Minecraft or construct an object in Roblox, an astonishing process occurs in our brain. The simple act of dragging and dropping blocks activates complex cognitive mechanisms, comparable to those involved in working with real construction sets. Neuroscientists note that during virtual construction, brain areas responsible for spatial thinking and planning are actively engaged. When creating a three-dimensional structure, a child or adult is forced to mentally rotate objects, calculate proportions, and evaluate perspective, skills critically important for mathematical and engineering thinking. Interestingly, the construction process in these games forms a special type of cognitive skill: procedural thinking. This is the ability to break down a complex task into a sequence of simple steps. When a player plans the construction of a virtual castle, they inevitably learn an algorithmic approach. First, the foundation, then the walls, the roof, interior details. Such a skill directly translates into real life, helping to structure any complex projects, from school assignments to professional challenges. It is particularly valuable that these platforms provide instant feedback. An incorrectly calculated structure can collapse, an unbalanced mechanism will not work. Through trial and error, resilience to setbacks, and the ability to iteratively improve one's creations are formed, qualities essential for innovative thinking in any field. The virtual worlds of Minecraft and Roblox have created a unique social phenomenon. digital sandboxes where collaboration takes on entirely new forms. In these spaces, thousands of collective projects are born daily, uniting people regardless of age, nationality, or geography. A 10-year-old boy from Tokyo, a retiree from Berlin, and a student from Brazil can build a fantastic city together, each contributing to the common creation. These platforms overcome language barriers, creating a universal language of visual construction. It's noteworthy that many large-scale projects in Minecraft, such as the recreation of medieval cities or fantasy universes, are the result of the labor of dozens and sometimes hundreds of participants. In the process of such interaction, complex social structures naturally form. Project leaders, architects, decorators, and redstone engineers emerge. Participants learn to distribute responsibilities, coordinate vision, resolve conflicts, and find compromises. The safety of this environment for social experimentation is of particular value. Here, one can try various communicative strategies without fear of serious consequences for failures. For many introverts and people with social anxiety, such platforms become the first step towards overcoming communicative barriers. Starting with a simple exchange of resources, they gradually move to more complex forms of interaction. Digital sandboxes also form a new type of community where status is determined not by external attributes, but by real contribution to the common cause and creative abilities. Virtual worlds are built from pixels, but the skills acquired within them are quite real. We are witnessing an astonishing phenomenon. What begins as a gaming hobby often blossoms into a serious professional calling. History knows many examples where a childhood fascination with Minecraft became the starting point for a career in architecture or engineering. Joseph Garrett, now a renowned architect from London, admits that his journey into the profession began at the age of 12 with building virtual cities. I realized I could think in three-dimensional space when I created my first underwater complex in Minecraft, he recounts. Such stories are becoming increasingly common. Interior designers, landscape architects, and civil engineers often mention digital sandboxes as the place where they first encountered spatial thinking. Particularly valuable is the transfer of the principle of iterative design. In virtual worlds, we learn to create, test, and improve our creations without fear of making mistakes. This approach, based on continuous trials and adjustments, becomes an integral part of professional thinking. Research shows that regular building in Minecraft develops the same neural connections that are engaged when solving complex engineering problems. It is noteworthy that many educational institutions have already incorporated elements of virtual construction into their curricula. Architectural faculties use Minecraft for initial modeling, while engineering schools are evaluating the potential of Roblox Studio for teaching programming. We are seeing the blurring of the line between game and professional tool, between entertainment and learning. Virtual worlds are becoming bridges across which creative impulses and skills freely move between digital and physical reality. In a world where reality sometimes presses down with its unpredictability, the virtual spaces of Minecraft and Roblox offer a unique form of psychological sanctuary. Here, every block obeys your will, every element of the landscape can be changed, creating a world where you are in complete control of what happens. This aspect of virtual sandboxes is especially valuable for people experiencing periods of heightened anxiety or stress. 13-year-old Sophia, who faced relocation and a change of school, recounts, "When everything around me was changing too quickly, I would go into my world in Minecraft. There I could build by my own rules, and it helped me feel grounded." Psychologists note the therapeutic effect of such creativity. The process of methodically placing blocks acts like meditation, lowering cortisol levels and activating endorphin production. This effect is especially important for children who do not yet possess developed self-regulation mechanisms. In the structured space of the game, they find a way to organize chaotic emotions. Adults, on the other hand, often use virtual construction as a form of digital gardening. Repetitive actions with visible results give a sense of productivity and completion that may be lacking in everyday work. It is noteworthy that some psychotherapists already include joint building sessions in Minecraft in their work with children who have experienced traumatic events. In the process of such activity, a child can symbolically restore a lost sense of control, processing negative experiences through creation. Behind the beautiful facade of virtual worlds also hides a dark side, the risk of excessive immersion, capable of escalating into a true addiction. Similar to other digital entertainments, Minecraft and Roblox are designed using mechanics that actively stimulate the dopamine pathways of our brain. Each new achievement, be it a completed structure or a discovered resource, triggers a micro-burst of pleasure, forming a positive reinforcement loop. Children, with their not yet fully formed self-regulation mechanisms, are especially vulnerable to such effects. Kirill's parents, an 11-year-old, note with alarm, "Our son becomes irritable when we limit his game time. He constantly talks about his projects, even at dinner." These are classic signs of developing addiction. The game ceases to be an addition to life and becomes its center. Research shows that the greatest risk arises when the virtual world begins to replace real social connections and achievements. Escapism. Using digital sandboxes as a way to escape from real-world problems becomes an especially alarming sign. Unlike temporary healthy distraction, pathological escapism does not solve problems, but merely postpones them, exacerbating the situation. It is important to understand, Minecraft and Roblox themselves are not harmful. The problem arises in the nature of interaction with them. The key question is, does virtual creativity complement real life or replace it? A balanced approach suggests that the experience gained in the digital world enriches reality, rather than becoming a refuge from it. Creating a family server in Minecraft or Roblox is not just entertainment, but a powerful tool for strengthening family bonds in the digital age. When parents and children build a virtual home or an entire city together, an amazing transformation occurs. The generation gap shrinks, replaced by a common language of creativity. The Ivanov family began their joint project after 10-year-old Masha spent weeks immersed in Minecraft. "Instead of fighting our daughter's hobby, we decided to join her," says Anna, Masha's mother. In 3 months, they created an entire city with farms, houses, and even a working railway. It's noteworthy that roles in such projects often get distributed in unexpected ways. Children become teachers, showing parents the intricacies of the game, while adults bring structure and planning. For a successful family server, it's important to establish common rules. Allocate regular time for joint play, define long-term project goals, and agree on basic interaction principles. Family servers become a space where important conversations naturally arise, from discussing architectural styles to planning resource allocation. Parents note that during joint construction, children are more willing to share their thoughts and experiences than during a regular conversation. Quote, explains psychologist Elena Sokolova. It's important to remember that the goal of such projects is not a perfect construction, but quality time together. The virtual constructors, Minecraft and Roblox, have long transcended the boundaries of simple games, transforming into powerful educational tools. Imagine a classroom where children don't just study the history of ancient Egypt from a textbook, but recreate the Great Pyramid block by block, calculating proportions and angles of inclination. This is precisely the approach used by the Minecraft Education Edition program, already implemented in thousands of schools worldwide. Educators note an astonishing effect. Material that would cause boredom in a traditional format is absorbed with enthusiasm and remembered for a long time in a gaming environment. Math teachers use virtual blocks for a clear demonstration of geometric concepts and three-dimensional figures. Physics teachers model working electrical circuits and even simple computers using redstone in Minecraft. Projects involving the recreation of historical events and architectural monuments are particularly impressive. School children from Stockholm, working on a project in Minecraft, reconstructed their city as it was in the 18th century, having studied historical documents and engravings for this purpose. The effectiveness of this approach is confirmed by research. Information obtained through active modeling is retained in memory 70% longer compared to traditional textbook reading. Roblox Studio, with its Lua scripting system, becomes an excellent platform for first steps in programming. By creating their own mini-games, children unwittingly master basic coding principles, logical operators, and algorithmic thinking. The key advantage of gamified learning is the transformation of passive information consumption into active exploration, where mistakes are not punished but become part of the cognitive process. In a world where digital technologies have become an integral part of our lives, finding a healthy balance between the virtual and the real is a true art. How can you turn a passion for Minecraft and Roblox into a beneficial experience without negative consequences? Start by setting clear time boundaries. Allocate specific hours for gaming, using timers and reminders. It's important to create a ritual for transitioning between worlds. A 5-minute warm-up before playing and a short meditation afterward will help the brain switch between realities. Practice the digital sandwich method. Surround virtual pastime with physical activity. An hour in Minecraft becomes much more useful if you take a walk, exercise, or do some handiwork before and after it. Parents should implement a creative transfer system. After each gaming session, suggest to the child to embody one idea from the virtual world into reality. Draw a built castle, sculpt a character from plasticine, or design a real birdhouse based on an in-game house. Such practices create bridges between worlds, transforming digital experience into a stimulus for real creativity. Particularly effective is the inspired projects technique, when virtual construction becomes a draft for real-world endeavors. A family from Kazan first designed their dacha plot in Minecraft, and then brought the plan to life, planting plants exactly according to the digital layout. Where are virtual sandboxes headed? We stand on the threshold of a new era, where the boundaries between digital and physical are becoming increasingly blurred. Virtual and augmented reality technologies are already beginning to transform the experience of interacting with Minecraft and Roblox. Imagine, instead of looking at a screen, you put on a VR headset and find yourself inside your creation, walking through the corridors of a built castle, feeling its scale, or touching virtual blocks, sensing their texture through haptic gloves. These technologies already exist, but are currently accessible to a limited circle of users. In the next 5 to 10 years, we will see their mass adoption, which will radically change the very process of digital creativity. An equally important direction will be the integration of physical and virtual worlds through augmented reality technologies. Projects like Minecraft Earth already allow placing virtual structures in a real landscape, visible through a smartphone camera. In the future, similar technologies will allow bringing out digital creations into physical space, creating a mixed reality where virtual objects will become part of everyday experience. The social implications of this evolution will be profound. New professions will emerge at the intersection of digital design and physical construction. Mixed reality architects, virtual physical interface engineers, interactive space designers. These specialties will be in demand in a world where digital creativity ceases to be isolated from material reality. The cultural significance of these changes is hard to overestimate. We are moving towards a society where the ability to create in virtual sandboxes will become a basic skill, as natural as the ability to read or count. The generation that grew up in the era of Minecraft and Roblox is already changing our world today. These young architects of virtual spaces are transferring their acquired skills into reality, shaping a new vision of design, architecture, and urban planning. Their thinking, nurtured by the freedom of digital construction, is characterized by flexibility and an unconventional approach to problem solving. They are not afraid to experiment, iteratively improve their projects, and think big. The fantasy worlds of Alpha are becoming not just games, but the first steps towards forming the creative identity of the 21st century human. The key conclusion of our research: the potential of virtual constructors for personal development is enormous, but it is realized only when a balance between digital and physical experience is maintained. We have formulated 4 principles that allow maximizing the developmental effect. The principle of creative transfer. Regularly embody virtual ideas in the material world. The principle of social enrichment. Use virtual projects to strengthen real connections. The principle of conscious immersion. Practice reflection and analyze your experience in digital worlds. The principle of time boundaries. Structure your interaction with virtual spaces. The future we are creating today lies at the intersection of worlds, where digital imagination meets physical reality, giving rise to new forms of creativity and collaboration.